Julia Smirnova. With guide Roman Tarasov. And first place, the winner, representing Russia in first place, Vera Klizova, with guide Natalia Jakimova. In že najhitrejša v ženskem delu pri biatlonkah Vera Klizova z vodičko Natalijo Jakimovo. And dear ladies and gentlemen, in honor of the winner, please stand for the national anthem of Russia.
Sorry.
Thank you. And now flash interviews for live broadcasting. And we are near next start. So pay attention. Woman middle sitting, 10K. Monika Kukla already waiting for the start. Lea Derdair, Anja Vicker, Marta Zajulina, Oksana Masters, Kendall Kretsch.
For the next race, and we will do them after. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
can you go closer a bit?
A bit closer. Okay. So this is hello. Okay. This is an interview with bib number 40.
Все вероятно на арабу,
Sova
честно
Vera.
житла.
Vera, you were completely in control, in charge of this race. Can you say?
Вы были полностью контролировали эту дистанцию. Масочка.
Такие вот, такие
Ну, по дистанции мы разложили свои силы, старались сразу же убежать. Сзади нас стартовала сильнейшая спортсменка, мы постарались задать темп, но у нас это получилось.
Defense from the best athletes with big applause. And now, just in 2 minutes, we'll start with another competition, woman middle sitting 10 kilometers. So we have 6 athletes from Poland, from the United States of America, from Germany and Russia. Starting with Monika Kukla representing Poland. Laura Dogerlane from the United States of America. Anja representing USA.
Start it
What's
is
happening now?
It's the race.
Yes, start is in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you want the coffee ceremony number
Yes,
4.
coffee and sand.
That middle visually impaired 10K biathlon competition. Starting with Ukraine. In first place, representing Ukraine, Yaroslav Reshetinsky with Denis Nikuri. Representing Russia, Nikolai Polukin with Edward Verbic. Already first place, and now in second place in IPM Slovenia Nordic Skiing World Cup here in Planica. Nikolai Polukin.
Okay, they started now. Keep them up. Okay.
And first place, and the winner, representing Russia, first place.
So welcome back to our coverage here of the 2021 World Para-Nordic Skiing World Cup here from Planica and Kranjska Gora in Slovenia. We've been treated to some fantastic weather and action so far. We're looking forward to even more coming up. You can see by the lack of hats and snoods that the weather certainly is just what the doctor ordered. It's lovely out there in terms of conditions. We're starting off this session with the women's sitting 10-kilometer, the middle distance biathlon. Some fantastic names taking part in this competition. World and Paralympic champions alike. Monica Kukla, Lera Duedelin, Anya Vika. Now this is bib number 64. That belongs to Marta Zainolina. Oksana Masters will go next up. Second of the 3 American athletes, along with Kendall Gretsch. So a bit of a speed start here to the sitting event. You're joining us for the second time today. Welcome back. Perhaps you've only tuned in for this particular event. Well, doesn't matter. We welcome each and every one of you to the broadcast. There is the reigning world champion setting off on her way. And the lady that finished behind her that day is right here. Kendall Gretsch, the 28-year-old, she'll be 29 right at the beginning of April. Looking for some World Cup points as a birthday present, perhaps. Lera Duedelin is the third of the Americans, and I'm going to apologize now if I'm not getting that right. It's a brand new name. She's just 17 years of age, is the young American. Now you see the official start. So Kukla, Duedelin, Vika, Zainolina, Masters, and Gretsch. Pink poles that belong to Kendall Gretsch as she, or should I say Masters, as she powers away through the course. 31 now. It actually makes her the oldest of the 6 ladies taking part in this 10-kilometer race. So again, 5 laps of 2 kilometers, 4 visits to the range. And we'll start to see some of the first athletes just maneuvering themselves into the run-up to the shooting range. Flying through your screen. That is Gretsch. First into the range comes Monika Kukla. 24-year-old, fairly new on the scene. Again, 5 targets. Penalised. You see that small circle at the top of the shot? That is the area that they have to go around. It's shrunk in size from the morning events. The standing and VI athletes have a harsher punishment in terms of distance for their penalty lap. Zenolina getting down to business with the rifle. She joins Masters in the 30-year category. She's exactly 30 years old. Comes from Kazan. In her 11th year of competitive action, having made her debut at a World Cup in Finland back in 2010. Still craves that gold medal. She got one back in 2015 at the World Championships in the US. Hasn't managed to replicate that feeling since. The games in Pyeongchang offered her a silver and a bronze as reward. She took 2 bronze, in fact, one in the 1K sprint and the other in the 5 sitting event. Away goes Gretsch. Try and bring you those official first lap times as soon as possible. Masters went round in 4:40, it would seem. Vika in 5:04, so already the challenge on. No one seems to be in the penalty lap area, so those last few athletes going clear. So again, 5 laps of 2 kilometers, 4 visits with the gun. You see the twisty and bendy course. It's well marshalled. This is Oksana Masters. Same Oksana Masters that doesn't just win medals when it comes to the winter. She's accustomed to picking up victories wherever and whenever. A paracyclist as well. Road race and time trial. As you would imagine, distance is her thing. Obviously that need for speed, and she'll be aiming to qualify for the rearranged Summer Games over in Tokyo. It's all getting a little bit bunched up as well. Anja Vicker in the mix. There's Björdeline. This is Monika Kukla into shot. 24-year-old from Poland. In some very prestigious company, and found herself in 6th position after the official first lap. The 3 misses at the range did not do her any good in terms of positioning. Her first 2 kilometers registering as 7:49.9. By comparison, the leader going round in 4:40. So you see the differences immediately in the elite of the sport. Gretsch does indeed go round in 2nd, also not missing a target, 4:49. So just 9 seconds between the front two Americans being chased by Anja Vicker. Former world champion back in Finstrau, the long distance event. He was a Sochi gold medal winner in this very event as well. So Anja Vicker is used to being there or thereabouts when it comes to results. And St. Helena rolled up the sleeves. Business is meant. Down in 4th position after the first round. That's majoritively down to a miss at the range, you would say. But I tell you what, Vicker is putting pressure on. He's certainly moving. She was only 27 seconds back on Oksana Masters at the end of that first 2 kilometers. And Masters rounding the bend in towards the range once more. Mindful at the ready. You can hear the sound of the targets going. Didn't hear the last one there, which was interesting. So that maybe there's an unexpected miss. I was hoping we'd find out whether she went round the penalty area there, but instead we'll see the next athlete, which is Gretsch, to come in. She will be hoping that a mistake is made in front of her, allowing her the opportunity to close the gap. There's the third of the Americans coming into shot. With the lane. Couldn't ask for two better teammates, it has to be said, to learn from than Gretsch and Masters. He's also only missed the one target in the first visit. Zenolina also missing one last time around. She finishes her 5. Away she goes. Masters going through 4 kilometers at 11.18. Well ahead of absolutely everybody at the moment. The gap was only 10 seconds last time. Can Kendall Gretsch come up with something to either close it? Or will she fall further behind? The force in the arms, the upper body strength here. Oksana Masters. Really wide across the upper shoulders. Using every ounce of that strength. Competed back in London at the Paralympic Games in the summer. Getting a medal out of the double sculls. There is really no end to this lady's ability. Missed out on medals in the time trial and the road race in Rio, and I think that's an ambition that she really, really aims to fulfill when it comes to those rearranged games in Tokyo. What a big year this could be for her. Of course, preparations and planning thrown right out of the window for many athletes who compete both in the summer and winter games. When they're at least 2 years apart, you've got exactly 2 years to plan. However, rearrangement of Tokyo and the impending less than a year away Beijing Winter Games means that coaches, both summer and winter, as well as the athletes, have to prepare very, very differently. They're playing with the deck that's been dealt to them, I suppose. The hand, should I say. But that is something that Oksana Masters will not be concerned by. She will have the bit between her teeth and will be aiming to be a Paralympic winter and summer champion by the end of the next year. What an achievement that would be. I mean, it sounds phenomenal. It would be phenomenal. A little slip there. And I do wonder about the conditions. With the sun coming out, it's hard to gauge, but there is the potential for some slippy areas. We know there's been a few fallers and injuries this morning. So the state of the course may bear effect, but it seems that Masters is ploughing along quite merrily at her own desired speed and in her own desired position. 11:18, her first 4 kilometres. 12:04, so Gretsch does indeed fall behind. Look at that cornering. Wonderful, wonderful technique. Just leaning into it, using the sit ski, the mono ski adapted. Vika remained in third, and she'd fallen in a complete minute behind Kendall Gretsch. So that 1-2 looking very solid for the Americans indeed. All of these ladies making their way around this 2 kilometre course here in northwestern Slovenia. What is a beautiful alpine valley lined either side. Some wonderful scenery, some great shots and photos being taken, I'm sure, by those on their first visit here. And you just see the slippiness at that bottom end there. That was Zenolina just struggling to keep grip. almost sludgy, if you like. Zainalina was in fourth after 4 kilometers. Her time was 13:03. The weather line went 15:16, so she's almost 4 minutes behind the race leader, but she is ahead of Monika Kukla, who did miss 3 targets in the first visit. I'm still waiting for her official time, her second lap, actually. That's in now, so 18:57. In fact, Kukla had almost a disaster at the range last time around. Monika Kukla missing 4 from 5. Oksana Masters doesn't very often miss. Pressure isn't particularly a word that she's too accustomed to. Gretsch, in her own right, a wonderful athlete, a wonderful medal winner. She is pushing as hard as she can against Masters. Have the men's event coming up straight after this. Gretsch, who resides in Colorado Springs. A studier of biomedical science. There you go. Started competing a couple of years ago. A 4th place finish in Pyeongchang. A silver medal in Prince George at the World Championships. Shows you that despite only having been doing this for a couple of years, Kendall Gretsch is a name that will not be forgotten very quickly. She is moving through the medal positions quite nicely. How long before a major gold in this event comes her way? She got the long distance one in Prince George. She took the 12K and the 6K in Pyeongchang. This is a phenomenal young lady. And again, having only taken up the sport in recent years, it's a testament to how well she's taken to it. 3-time world champion in para triathlon. Was devastated when that wasn't included in the 2016 games in the sunlit city of Rio de Janeiro. So she turned her attention to the winter sports, and all of a sudden she was gold medalist again. She's aiming to be at the games again, like Masters in Tokyo. So a quick look then at the official timings as we have them. That Oksana Masters 6 kilometers down, 17:58 was the time. Kendall Gretsch 6 kilometers at 18:52.7. So she's finding herself falling back a little. Whilst the gap was less than 10 seconds in the first lap round, it's now 56.7. She's comfortable though, because Marta Zainalina has gone into third position, it would seem. Although I think Anja Vicker's time hasn't quite registered, but Zeinolina, nonetheless, 2:17.6 behind the leader. 20.15 is how long it's taken her to do 6 kilometres. You're looking at her in position in the range. Vicker just there as well. Duedeline, rifle in hand. Quick roll and push up, and away she goes. It's fantastic effort. The speed they get from horizontal to vertical. I think that was Duedeline going into the penalty lap, so at least a miss that time around. There's Masters. Every inch of this course now, it seems, glistening in the sunlight. And Oksana Masters using the track ever so slightly, but then taking the narrower inside line. Again, you can hear those targets. The lady is so driven to be successful. Anja Vicker's time has now come up for that third lap, and she is indeed down into fourth position. So USA, Russian Federation, Germany is now how the top four sits. And the gap between Vicker and Zeinolina, almost 30 seconds. So a rarity here. Oksana Masters is going around the penalty loop. It appears that she's missed 2 out of her 5 this time around. Is that enough for Kendall Gretsch to get back in on the action here? Phenomenal finishes in the men's event a little bit earlier on. Kendall Gretsch has the ability to close down on Oksana Masters. She's got a miss to her name herself. Is this the opportunity she needed to close down on the leader? Duedeline went round 6 kilometres in 24:44, some 6 minutes 46 back. Kukla still waiting on that third lap time. Now, there's Gretsch. Somebody will have told her that Masters has been in the penalty loop. So will she find a little bit extra? What she needs to find is 5 perfect shots. That's a start as she comes towards the range. It was indeed 2 misses on the final go for Oksana Masters. How costly will they be? They'll only be costly if Gretsch gets a clean sweep here and can motor to close the gap. 25:19 is how Masters went through 8 kilometres. Zeinolina will be looking to hold off Anja Vicker for second and third. There goes Zeinolina. Can she close down on a top 2 finish? She was over a minute back on Kendall Gretsch. Are either of those heading towards penalties? No, they're not. Seemingly, they're away. So it's clean for Zenolina and for Gretsch. So those 2 penalties for Masters. We'll find out if they were costly in just a matter of moments then. So Oksana Masters, the only thing she's aiming for now is the finish line. No more targets other than coming first. Big shout of come on Oksana from the sideline. Zenolina and Gretsch sliding their way in. I said earlier on about the way these guys maneuver. Oh, and down goes Zenolina, and Gretsch then almost collides. You wouldn't think that in 2 kilometers worth of track you can come against someone when there's only 6 of you on the course, but there you are. As I said, the sun here, you know, the same thing that warms up the rest of the planet. It's absolutely glistening down and burning down onto the snow here in Planica, and potentially making it slippy out there on the course. Zenolina is digging in here to try and get back in front of Kendall Gretsch. The concentration here is on these 2 because they have an opportunity to close down on this lady here. I've seen enough of Oksana Masters at both summer and winter games to know that this lady will have taken those 2 misses to heart and will be absolutely driving forwards to make sure that the work she does on the snow makes up for the miss at the range. And here's this sprint race between Zenolina and Gretsch once again. You see the coaches running alongside, offering support, advice. What they can't do is offer any more energy. They have spent all that. They've got to dig into the reserves now in these final 2 kilometers. Swinging down to that very, very quick right-hander. Here's the youngster, Duedeline, coming to her final visit into the range. Push is on to the finish then. Oksana Masters, I'm sure it won't be a nervy finish. She was only 18 seconds ahead at the end of that last lap. That gap had gone down from 56 to 18. But she has driven herself home. Well, the reigning world champion is over the line. The work now is for the rest of them. Can they get close? Can they close the gap? Zenolina not letting Gretsch out of her sight. Since Zenolina slipped, these 2 have been alongside each other. You see again the flags in the background, meaning this really has not been a vast amount of wind around the place to affect them at the range. A concentration and the efforts that have gone on there. So the clock ticking down. You see at the bottom of your screen then, what they need is 30 minutes, 0.39. They've got less than 30 seconds. Kendall Gretsch at least has got less than 30 seconds to get across the line. Is there a grandstand finish here for Kendall Gretsch? 15 seconds now, 30.39. I think it's going to edge away from the pair of them, but these two have worked very, very hard. Well, 30.39 looks like slipping away then. And Gretsch comes into the home straight, if you will, with Zainalina breathing down her neck.
Only 5 minutes remaining to the last start in men's competition. Pay attention. So the first will start Patrick Fogarassi representing Germany.
Up to the line they come. So we'll give you the official times in just a moment. Oksana Masters went through at 30.39. Zainalina and Gretsch finishing almost together as they come through. Well, Masters was the oldest. She was the quickest as well. There wasn't a lot in it, though. 30.39 for Oksana Masters. Kendall Gretsch came through at 31.03. She was well ahead of Zainalina in terms of timing, 33.24. Now, can Zainalina keep ahead of Anja Vicker, who it would seem didn't miss a single target? The accuracy from Vicker, exceptional. Can she find a bit of speed in the final stages? I have to say, Zainalina as well, just missing the one target on the first go-round. Gretsch only missing on the second. And Oksana Masters maybe just tiring as she went into the range on her final visit, missing twice. Vicker still heading around the course, so she is well outside. As you can see, the time ticks away. This is Monica Kukla, who I think still has to come in and do a shoot. Yes, she does. You see the course just splitting there with the blue and the red cones laid out. I just heard Lera Dueteline. I don't know if you caught that. She was questioning whether the coach was right. Coach was telling her she's still got one more shoot to do. I have to say I'm inclined to believe the coach there, Lera, because I haven't got a fourth line time for you yet. So yeah, the Kukla still to shoot one final round, which then would alternatively mean that Dueteline has to as well. So these two, of course, fighting out for the final places. Anja Vicker is closing in on a finish. She's been round 4 times. This is the final time round for her. Dueteline, a miss first go. A miss the second go. Miss the third. We'll see how she fares next time around. Away goes Kukla. And the youngster getting some miles or kilometers under the belt in terms of experience, if anything. Penalty lap, not what you want on the final lap. Monica Kukla also slipping over as well. At the start of the men's event in just a few moments as well. Anja Vicker coming towards the finishing part of the course. A quick look at the men's start list. Pograssi, Karasrad, the reigning world and Paralympic champion. Genossen, who knows a thing or two about finishing behind Rad. Got Shin as well in action, a bronze medalist in Prince George. So again, plenty of talent in the men's event coming up too. Vika rounding the final bend. There's a look at some of the athletes waiting on. Won Yumin and Alexander Oleksik, and they are not far away from getting underway. We should have Patrick Grassi, bib number 71. I'm not sure whether he started or not here, but he's certainly not at the gate. We'll join that debate in a couple of moments. But, for Grassi, should have gone. That's Aleksik. He certainly has left. Pavlo Bal, 24-year-old from Ukraine. And there goes Pavlo Bal. .34, but fairly new to the international scene. It's certainly the first time I've seen him on here. Anja Vika just going through the line in the women's event. This is Won Yumin. One of two Koreans in this event. Kravchuk, bib number 75, 24-year-old. This is Shin Uihyun. Bronze medalist in Prince George. Shin will be looking to maintain the form that he's had since starting and taking up the sport. He picked up a gold in the 7.5 kilometer sitting event in Pyeongchang. That's Alexander Davidovich going away for the Russian Federation. Yeah, Shin taking a gold in his home winter games. There's Daniel Knossen. Very well known on the circuit. This his 10th year of competing competitively. 2 games under his belt, and a real comparison that they were from 2014 to 2018. A best finish of 6th in one event, and then all the rest were in the teens. He arrived in Pyeongchang, gold, silver, silver, bronze, silver, silver. A different man, a stronger man, 4 years worth more of experience, and he was ready to compete with the big boys, and he really, really did over there in South Korea. Well, he got to Prince George, a little closer to home in Canada. Came away with a couple of silvers, not probably what he wanted in terms of final results, but he knew full well that he could do more. And he is always out to prove that he can. Martin Flag from Germany. Flag, another very recognizable name in the world of Para-Nordic. Another that has been busy chasing Taras Rad the last few years. "31 years of age, Martin Flag. Lives in a place called Gundorfingen, which I just like saying, Gundorfingen. So into the range then. Going to just pop backwards and give you some results of the women's event, although it's still registering as being live. I think Monica Kukla just about coming towards the finish, but Duedeline finished on 41:32.5. She missed 2 in her last visit to the range. Kukla is showing as missing 2 in her last visit as well. We saw her slipping away in the penalty loop. I thought she would have been in by now, so maybe there is a slight delay with the results. We'll give you that as soon as we can. But back to the men's event. Well, they are all out. They're all up and running, and the first person to get round was Alexander Aleksik. Took him 5 minutes 20.4 to do his 2 kilometers. This is Won Yumin at the range. Shin Uihyun. Shin lost both his legs in a car accident back in 2006, and you read the story, it was the day before his college graduation, a harrowing event in his life, and he turned that around into being a Paralympic champion in his home country. So, of course, his aspiration is to make it over to the next games in 2022 and try and replicate that success in Beijing. Taras Rad, in terms of big medals, has done the double. Back-to-back world and Paralympic champion in this event. Twelve and a half kilometers it is when it comes to the Paralympics. Prince George took the title as well. Martin Flag getting down and back up. That was pretty quick from Martin Flag. Accuracy is what they want. So Knosson has the best official time so far, but we're waiting for Rad, Flag, and Golubkov all to come through. Knosson went through at 4:47 and without a miss at the range as well. So do your best. That is exactly what he's done. Davidovic went 4:53. So just 5 seconds separating those two as they went through. Taras Rad goes into first position though, 4:27. 20 seconds clear of Daniel Knosson. Flag and Golubkov's times will come up next. This is Martin Flag. He's in second. Martin Flag is just 6.2 seconds behind the leader, which is Ivan Golubkov. Golubkov, 4:09.2. 18 seconds clear of the reigning world champion. Taras Rad in third. Knosson down in fourth. Davidovic in fifth. A very interesting first lap. 25-year-old Ivan Golubkov leads the way. Well, the last couple of seasons, Golubkov has concentrated on the World Cup. He didn't make it to Prince George. He's competing now with the aim of getting to Beijing. And a victory here in this discipline really would be a statement to those around him. Flag, Rad, Knosson, Shin. There are some very big names in this field. So Golubkov leading the way. 4:09.2 with just 6 seconds. And if you've been watching all day today, you'll know that 6 seconds in this sport really means nothing. We've had some fantastic comebacks. So let's not take this first lap as the written result. Now, Aleksik, first to go, was in 8th out of the 10. And in fact, Fogarassi, as I mentioned at the beginning, did not start. So Fogarassi, for some reason, didn't start. Wish him all the best. Alexander Aleksik at the range. Pavlo Bal should be next to arrive there. This is Davidovic as well. He's closed down on Kravchuk. Those two will meet each other in the range pretty much together then. Waiting for Aleksik's second lap time to give us a benchmark. And in fact, in unison, down went those two. There is Pavlo Bal. He's up and away. Alexander Aleksik went through the 4-kilometer mark at 12:32. He was a full minute behind Golubkov when it came to the end of the first lap. So he did miss one and one again in his first two visits. So Alexander Aleksik despite only being a minute back, was penalised twice. So we'll see how much that impacts on his final standing. The artistry with the rifle. And it really is about making every shot count. Taras Rad normally does that. There were no misses for Golubkov, Flaig, Rad. Those three went through cleanly. Here is Martin Flaig. That's Won Yu Min, the top of your screen. Flaig just getting down and settled. And it's quick from Martin Flaig, isn't it? One gulp of breath, steady go. One gulp of breath, steady go. Fascinating to watch. Rad has gone through at 10:43.6. Davidovic 11, 17 seconds back. Kravchuk gone through in third at 11:06. But still waiting on Golubkov, Flaig, Knossen, all to come through. Won Yu Min having a bit of a struggle in this event, it seems. This is Pavlo Bal. All about learning for someone like Pavlo Bal in the early stages of his career. Get a few European events under your belt, then maybe on something on the World Cup, and then start to assess where you can go from there. Daniel Knossen believes that he can still offer gold-coloured medals to the American team, so he goes out there and fights for them every single time. A debut games gold. This is Flaig. He and Golubkov are out on the course together here. Golubkov leads though. 10:03 from 10:24. The gap has stretched to 21 seconds now for Martin Flaig behind Ivan Golubkov. That's Pavlo Bal and Davidovic together. This is Flaig and Golubkov again, and Martin Flaig won't want Golubkov to catch him. What he needs to do is pull away, but that may not be possible at this rate. Taras Rad was in third position, 39.7 seconds back on Golubkov. So at the moment, after 4 kilometers, it was Russia with Golubkov, Germany with Flaig, Ukraine with Rad. And then Davidovic, Kravchuk and Knossen down in 6th. Again, that short, sharp right hand that seemingly has become quite slippy. The range is quiet for now. There's Taras Rad over the brow of the hill, heading towards us. Is he heading towards not finishing in first? Not something that Taras Rad is used to. It is Golubkov, and he seems to have got rid of Martin Flaig as well. There he is in the background. Taras Rad was 18 seconds back from Martin Fleig, who was 21 seconds back from Golubkov. So the battle is on in all of those positions to try and get near. Won Yu Min, as I mentioned, was having a bit of a struggle. He's down in 10th position. Some 3.5 minutes back on the leading pair. In fact, the second Korean, Shin, is only a couple of places above him, behind Daniel Knossen. This is Rad. Taras Rad had to have an emergency operation at the age of 14 to amputate his leg. That was said to be able to save his life at the time. So an acquired impairment for Taras Rad. Was introduced to cross-country skiing and biathlon not long afterwards. Massively keen swimmer as well, Taras Rad. That would be an interesting switch between summer and winter sports. In comes Golubkov. Getting yourself set, getting yourself right is something they will train over and over and over again. Coming in at speed, getting down, and then doing the right things with that rifle in hand. Martin Fleig, who we've seen, is pretty quick when it comes to taking those 5 shots, and pretty accurate as well, because he's not registered a miss so far. Kravchuk has gone through 6 kilometers, 17.24. Davidovic has gone through as well in 17.37. Shin in 18.11. Pavlo Bal has already gone through, and so too has Alexic. And there you see Martin Fleig was quite a way behind Golubkov when they got into the range. Golubkov takes his time, it seems, far more than Martin Fleig. Different results for each. Different styles for each. There is the man at the back end of the field for now, Won Yu Min. Let's take a look at the times then. Golubkov from Fleig. It's 31 seconds now. Taras Rad has dropped further back though, 117.6. He is off the lead. And in fact, he's being closed down by Vasil Kravchuk. Davidovic behind him. Kravchuk on a real speedy lap. He's gone from fifth into fourth, and massively closed the gap on the 3rd place finish. Interesting couple of laps coming up. Here is Rad. Maybe his attentions will turn not from impacting on the top 2, but protecting a 3rd place finish here in this World Cup. Away goes Rad. 1 finishes in the range. Golubkov, Fleig, Rad. And this is the man chasing down on Kravchuk, having been overhauled. Martin Flag. No misses with the gun. Neither is Rad, neither is Golubkov. What both of those need is an off moment from Ivan Golubkov. And the 25-year-old is certainly making his name known to the world of Para-Nordic, isn't he? Sliding round Davidovic. He's the reigning world and Paralympic champion. Using the tracks made out on the course. Here he comes again, Rad, just over the brow of that hill. Into shot and racing towards the screen. Well, how much more has he got left to give in this World Cup? Golubkov, Flag, Rad, Kravchuk, Davidovic, Knossen. That's the top 6 at the moment. All looking for a place on that podium, all looking for a place that gives them the maximum amount of points for this World Cup circuit. Here's Golubkov. In the background, you'll see Martin Flag coming through now. There's Kravchuk going out of shot. They're all in a very similar distance to each other. That was Knossen going through. At the range. Waiting for people to come in. That's Kravchuk. There's Knossen. It's busy here. There's Pavlo Bal. There's Tamas Rad as well. Well, they're all at the drive-through movies together. What can they see through the lens on the screen? Here comes Golubkov as well. Martin Flag will be next. He can't be too far around that bend. Kravchuk goes away. He's the man pressuring Rad. Tamas Rad. Up he flips. Away goes Bal at the same time. Flag, you saw a moment ago at the back of the shot, just coming in. There's the race leader, Golubkov. Kravchuk has gone through his 8 kilometers. So too has Davidovic. Shin and Aleksik as well. Let's see where this puts them in a moment, though. 23:45 for Kravchuk. Oh, we've got some penalties here. And that is Ivan Golubkov. Now, how many's he got? That's one. I think that'll be all. Yes, he's heading straight back out. In there with him was Pavlo Bal, but that's a big moment for Ivan Golubkov. Had he put enough distance ahead of himself and the rest? Martin Flag is absolutely deadly at speed with that rifle. And if he's managed to catch sight of the fact that Golubkov has gone in for a penalty lap, then, well, is that the inspiration needed? I'm sure Tamas Rad's coaches are telling him what's happened ahead of him, or behind him now at least. The lead is just 16 seconds. Golubkov went through 8 kilometers at 22:34.5. Fleig went through at 22.50. Rad went through at 23.43. And the gap between Rad and Kravchuk has closed as well. So there is an almighty tussle for third. 6.8 seconds between Taras Rad and Vasil Kravchuk. And Kravchuk putting on the pressure. He missed in his first visit to the range. Kravchuk, that left him quite a way behind, but he's closed the gap since then. And now, Golubkov with a miss, it would seem. Every ounce of effort being put in here. Driving those arms down. Martin Fleig, the work rate of the arms perhaps just picked up a little. That man behind him, he's in top spot. But can Fleig find something to get away? The fact that Golubkov can see Martin Fleig right in front of him will always be something that will inspire him and be able to drive him on, because he'll know the closer he gets to Martin Fleig, the more ahead he'll be on time.
2 times in third place from Paralympic Games in Sochi back in 2014.
To look at the targets that they're aiming for. The target they're aiming for next is the finish line. Rad coming into shot. He has missed a target at least. Golubkov's misses are showing a 0, but I'm pretty sure we've watched him go around that loop, but there we go. There's no other reason for the gap to have closed, so we'll take that as he did indeed miss one. But he is closing the gap. Golubkov bearing down on Martin Fleig, and he knows the closer he is to Martin Fleig, the less pressure there is on him for times. Just ahead of them there was Daniel Knossen. He'd gone behind Shin at the last check as well. And now they start to come through the line. That was Aleksik coming through a moment ago. 76 is Shin Ui-hyun. He comes through to finish his middle distance race. Here comes Rad. So the first meaningful time in terms of the podium places. We're going to look at that in a second. Rad has come through in 28.40. Davidovic comes through in 29.17. This is Kravchuk. Can he get inside Rad? Not by the looks of it. Looks like Tamas Rad has dug deep. Yet Vasil Kravchuk finishes 28.50. So some 9 seconds back. 10.2, in fact, in the end. Now, Golubkov is absolutely motoring here. There's no let up from Golubkov. Knossen crosses the line, but it will be Ivan Golubkov's day as he comes through well inside a minute. Well outside a minute, should I say, in front of the lead time at that point, which was Taras Rad. And I'm going to take a check now on Martin Fleig's time. Martin Fleig comes through 27.50. 59. So the time for Martin Fleig in the end, 16.3 seconds back. He did everything he could in that 8-kilometer lap. There's a hug to say well done. Eventually that gap was 30.9 seconds. Martin Fleig knows that Ivan Golubkov is so quick over the course. Fleig, the difference maker for him is with the rifle. He is deadly accurate. 4 zeros in his miss column. Here comes Pavlo Bal down at the foot of the table.
And the next athlete will be in 2 meters with us in finish line, representing Ukraine, Pavlo
And we've only, I think, got Won Yu-min out on the course now.
Congratulations, Pavlo.
Athletes at the finish area just soaking up that sunshine as we wait for the final athletes to come through. We'll give you the official results of the women's and the men's race just momentarily, but Ivan Golubkov from Martin Fleig from Taras Rad is how we see it at the moment. That's unofficial because this man here is still out on the course. So Won Yu-min, who had a couple of visits with the blank. He missed one at the beginning and he's missed 2 in the final visit to the shooting range. Won Yu-min, arms, lungs, chest, they'll all be burning about now. They will all be feeling the strain. There's a smile from our race leader, Ivan Golubkov. He knows he's won it unofficially. Look back at some of the action from these last couple of races. Again, we'll bring you the official results for the women's and the men's races as soon as we can. But for now, take a look back at some of the action that has just been in front of us. Aleksik Davidovic. It was Vasil Kravchuk who really did put some pressure on the reigning world champion Taras Rad, but Rad eventually managing to edge his way into third by a good distance. But no one was stopping Ivan Golubkov. He was so quick around the course that even despite his penalty loop, still held on to take it. This is the 2 men that came first and second.
Okay, so we will play you the results of the ladies and the men as soon as we finish with this kind of highlight.
There's Rad again at the range. Glubkov's 4 laps, 4 minutes, just under 5 from then. Over 5. In fact, it was 6 minutes to do the 5 and 6 kilometers. And then just 6.5 to get around that final 2 kilometers as well. So a tough performance from Golubkov. In fact, the final 2 kilometers between 8 and 10, he did quicker than he did the one between 6 and 8. So excellent performance from Golubkov. He realized he'd gone and done the penalty loop. He knew he had to put the pressure on the snow. Oksana Masters took the women's sitting event from Kendall Gretsch. Marta Zainolina finishing in third. 24 seconds the gap between first and second. The men's event much tighter than that. Ivan Golubkov, Martin Fleig fought it out, but eventually Golubkov's pace pushing a 29.6 second gap between him and Fleig. Taras Rad was in third position. A great day here at Planica. Thanks very much for joining us. From myself, Alan March, and from all of us here, goodbye.